Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Bill.
And my name
This
is Alan.
Alan. This is the Bad Anime Podcast.
This anime is really bad.
We're putting the bad this time.
We are front loading the bad.
We are now watching Dorei-ku
The Animation.
Episodes 4 through 6.
4 through 6.
And it remains deeply challenging and very problematic.
Yeah.
I said the P word.
You said the P
but
word.
But it is.
Abolish slavery. Abolish slavery.
Yeah, no, so this is free all slaves.
Free all slaves everywhere.
And we gotta go back to slavery minds and discuss these 3 episodes of this anime about slavery. In case you missed last episode, this is incredibly not safe for work. Because we're going to be discussing some really horrendous shit going on.
Yeah.
Would you say there was more or less rape than the last time? Because honestly, there seemed to be a lot less rape.
There seemed to be... Rape went down. Slavery went up.
Slavery did go up. Rape went down. I will say it was still pretty horny. But
yeah,
I will
still
say
too horny.
It was less horny, though. And we gotta start from the beginning again. The problem with this show is that it sort of tries to do events from every character's perspective, even dogs.
Yes.
So
okay, but the dog's perspective was good.
The dog is the only good character in this show, I would say.
Yeah. The
dog is probably the best character that we have covered in this series. Like, including Darwin's Game. Like I was saying, like you get a lot of perspectives here. We get a lot of challenging situations. They're not presented in a linear fashion like a fool would. So luckily, I have written down everything that happened. The problem is...
I have skillfully opened a Wikipedia page.
So, the problem is it still doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense.
So we sort of open... So, last episode, there was a man... it ended on a man trying to enslave 2 young women, one of which was actually a boy.
Yes.
Trans rights, etc. But I think he identified as a boy.
Said trans rights. We both said trans rights now.
Everybody says trans rights.
Audience, say trans rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we kind of open on the backstory of the guy trying to do the slavery. In case you were like, who is this ugly fucking middle-aged dude missing a tooth? What is his magnificent fucking backstory? It's very simple. He is an idiot, and he's working for organized crime to recruit young women into sex slavery for $1 million yen a pop. With the potential that if he does this, he might become the head of the crime family. Which personally, I don't know how you read this, but I read this as a complete lie.
Yeah, this is a complete lie. He obviously is up to something fishy.
Yeah, but... As we stated last time, he lost to an actual dog. So he loses to the dog. And then somehow the dog winning, Julia and the other guy, Cho, they sort of spin this as they won. And then they make off with all of the slaves. Except for the dog. The dog's like, I won. And then Julia's like, actually, I won. And somehow they convince everyone that they should go into their limo. And they do. Despite the fact, by everything we know about how the show works, they should be the dog slaves. But this is not true, and the dog is robbed of its slaves. It doesn't get angry about this because it doesn't seem to like slavery.
Yeah.
Another point in the dog's favor.
The dog does not enjoy slavery. Wait, was this from this episode or the next episode?
We learned about the dog's interiority in the next episode, I believe. But
okay, so we're talking about Zenichi.
Yeah.
The punchy man.
Yeah, we're talking about Zenichi so far. We just covered that he lost. And then, as the dog is sort of, about to leave, who shows up but the main character girl from the... It's been a long time since she's been on screen, frankly. But she comes and she's like, oh, you're my dog. It turns out it was her dog that ran away many years ago.
Yes.
And now he's got a retainer in his mouth and he won't take it off. And at this point, we don't know why. We'll find out later. This is going to get really confusing if we try to put this in any sort of order other than what they presented to us.
Yeah.
They did not mention that the dog, like, existed before this.
No, they didn't.
This
also,
was not
I
like
feel
a plot point.
We were just skipping the entirety of episode 4. Because we're going.
No, this was episode 4.
The dog was in episode 4? Oh, wait, no, this was.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, I forgot how much of dog was in episode 4. I forgot the balance of dog.
We get the dog's external actions in episode 4, but then we will learn the dog's perspective on events.
Right.
But right now the dog is a mystery, and then in an episode later they're like, okay, here's the dog's inner voice. But right now we're not even done with episode 4 yet. I mean, I'm trying to get through this pretty quickly because this is roughly the pace at which things were revealed to us.
Yeah.
So then we find out that the main character owes money to some guy. So he's borrowed the money. It's not actually his money that he gives to the main character. I wrote down one phrase here: "Guy tricked by Shota Master."
Oh yeah, the Shota. Okay, so I can explain this because it's on Wikipedia. So there's a guy who is my favorite character in this show so far because he's just like, I don't know, a weird.
Better than the dog.
Best human character.
Okay.
He's only been in this episode, so he hasn't done anything fucked up yet. But he gets enslaved through a very, very obvious trick.
This little boy comes up to him and he's like, "Hey, my papa was enslaved. Help me get vengeance."
Yes.
And this guy's a dipshit, so he's like, I guess. Then he shows up and he still thinks it's like a fake game or whatever, but he participates in the game despite thinking it's fake.
Yes.
Which is not a good... Just don't do things that you don't believe in if the upside of if you're wrong is you get enslaved.
Yes.
This is like people who make pacts with demons. I knew a person, actually, in high school who was making a pact with a demon in our cafeteria. And I was like, why are you doing this? And she was just like, no, this is normal. And it wasn't. It's like, there's two outcomes here. Either nothing happens,
or you have a pact with
soul
a demon.
To the devil.
Yeah.
This is a similar situation. This guy is like, I guess I'll just help this kid or whatever. I don't know. And he's like, there's two outcomes. Either this kid is wasting your fucking time on some stupid bullshit on your day off.
On your day off from your hard work at the fucking bread factory.
This guy out here making bread every day.
He's literally getting this bread.
He's making the bread. And so then he goes like, all right, kid, whatever, man. And then he's like playing this trivia game. And he's like, I guess we won. And then it's like, oh, no, I was an idiot. And the kid was on the other team. I lost. And then it's revealed that this is where it actually becomes a shock to the person. But I want to point out that I called this. You have not reacted to this in the way that I did. The second this kid started opening his mouth.
This kid started talking like, oh, you said he was the master.
Yeah, he's the master.
And I'm just like, well, he's a shote. He's the master.
He's a little Shota boy.
Yeah.
But the little Shota boy, in fact, was the master of Julie. He's the fucking ringleader of the whole fucking shit. And then, but when he tries to enslave young Mr. Breadman, he says no.
Breadman,
he hears a voice in his head.
He breaks the conditioning.
To run away. He breaks the fucking conditioning, dude.
Yeah.
He just says, he's a voice in his head. Probably Alex Jones being like, don't fucking listen to this.
Alex Jones personally intercedes on his behalf.
And he's like, fucking run away. And so this kid tries to run away, a breadman tries to run away, but then he gets tased by one of the women from the last episode. Or the woman that is a boy from the last episode.
Yeah.
And so that's really rad and cool and stuff. So then he wakes up and Master Child and Joe are talking about this, and apparently this is the first time that this has happened. No one's ever disobeyed
No one's ever disobeyed an order ever before. So this man has broken the conditioning.
He broke the fucking conditioning.
He broke the conditioning. This is why he's my favorite human character.
Honestly, he seemed like he was like a nothing character, but then like he did this, and I was like, this guy's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I was still like, this guy seems pretty lame and generic. But I mean, he does work at a bread factory.
He gets this bread. I mean, he's just like a guy. He's also not into the slave thing, which is great because everyone else is into the slave thing.
So many people in this show are into the slave thing, or they start off and they're not into the slave thing, and then they fucking love slavery.
Then they're just like, slavery is so cool, and you're just like, no, it's not.
Yeah, and then do you remember the guy who was trying to enslave those two women? Well, it turns out he got abducted at a hospital. And you might be saying, that's a pretty abrupt way of saying it, and that's how it's said in the show.
That's how it's done in the show. It is...
Yeah, they just cut to the show guy, and he's like, now this guy broke the conditioning. Oh, by the way, that one guy was stolen.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I guess that happened. Then they get a letter from someone signing it a crazy person.
Yes.
Which is neat.
Which is a very normal thing to do.
Yeah, it's very normal, very cool. Yeah. Being like, I want to bet everything, fucking fight me, 1v1 me, kind of shit.
Yeah.
So they get that letter, and at first I thought it was our main characters, who I did not realize were as bad as they were at this point.
No, they got real bad real fast. We'll get
to that.
We'll get there.
But right now we're starting with we don't know who these people are, and then we get a little backstory from the girl who was working, the girl who was the near victim of the slavery attempt, who was then enslaved by Team Shota Boy. She's talking to Cho, who's also working for Shota Boy, and she's like, "How did you get enslaved?" And Cho is fucking ripped.
Cho is ripped.
Absolutely. He's built like a fucking JoJo character.
He's built like he's in JoJo. I feel like he could
not part 1 or 2, but like at least like part 5 was built, right?
Yeah.
Like this dude, he's got like a six pack. He's got like arms. Like I don't understand.
This dude can get it. This man can get it.
But he was like, oh, I like Julia a lot. And then when Julia came back, he noticed that she was thin, which the characters keep remarking on this. So I think you must be made thin if you use this device.
Like it must just,
which is neat.
Yeah.
If they're trying to use this as a plot point, I fucking called it. This thin thing will come up again because I mentioned it a few times. But Julia's like, let's play a game, and then he puts the retainer on. It's like, oh, what color underwear am I wearing?
Yeah.
And he guesses wrong because she isn't wearing any underwear.
Yeah.
That's the kind of show this is.
This is this kind of show.
That's how he became enslaved.
Yeah.
Also, Julia, very good, I guess, at her job. I guess this is one of her.
Yeah, it's like this is one of her former clients at like a hostess bar. Like,
yeah, I guess she was dating.
She was dating Seiya. Seiya, by the way, worst character.
Seiya is probably my least favorite character somehow.
He radiates such. He's mentioned, but he's not appearing in his episodes. He radiates such sad energy.
Just sad bottom bitch energy.
Yeah.
It's really incredible how much he sucks.
He sucks so bad.
Because the whole time he was like getting ready to he was like ruining. I almost forgot while we were getting into this at the beginning. So I mentioned in the first episode we recorded that I forgot her name now, but the girl who enslaved Seiya originally, I thought she was a Tsunobu or that kind of character.
No, but
archetype.
she also
actually legitimately just has an eye patch because she was working as a sex worker of some kind.
Yeah.
For Seiyu. And then the guy who tried to enslave those two girls, broke her eye or somehow.
Yeah.
It was pretty wild.
Yeah.
And that's how he got scouted. So it all ties together, man.
Yeah, it all ties together. They're all interlinked in ways that they don't set up at all.
It doesn't make any sense. It's not like when you look back, you're like, wow, man, it's like how we're all in a city and we're all connected and you ever think about when you're in traffic, you're like, what's that guy's life?
Big hair man comes up more.
Big Hair Man is going to come back in such a way that we're probably going to have to talk about him even more.
Yes.
I don't even know if we mentioned him. I think we just strategically...
we thought he didn't matter.
I thought he didn't matter either. We definitely mentioned he was acting as the boyfriend.
Yeah, we're going to do a big Hair Man. We have to apologize to Big Hair Man for not realizing how critical he was to this anime.
Yeah, then we, getting back on track here, then we cut to, basically, the main characters get the same letter.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to start using his name now, because he's no longer the main character, he is Yuga. The male main character who was pretending to be gay at the beginning.
Yes.
he's Yuga, and he is like, oh, we've got to get more slaves, and we should challenge this person. But the female main character, who I will continue to refer to as main character,
Yeah.
She's like
finally the main character again, since like for the first time since
she's
the first
like,
episode.
actually, fuck slavery and fuck you.
Yeah.
And then he just like fucking attacks her.
Yeah, he does. He attacks her in
the
he attacks her in the street.
So then he like comes up with this like plan to get her back, because for some he doesn't want her to be enslaved to him, but he wants her to continue to help him.
He actually felt like he says he like loves her. I don't know if that was a metaphor. Or
that comes later.
Okay,
that's
later.
Absolutely a lie. But no, his plan is basically that she can bail him out because she is free.
Yeah, and he specifically needs her to do this
because she is smart.
Yeah. And he
trusts
can't.
her. He seems to be a little bit misogynistic.
He loses his mind at the idea that she won't bail him out.
Yeah, no, it's fucking incredible that this woman that he like met a week or two ago does not instantly like continue to follow along with him.
Yeah.
And she's not even planning on betraying him. She's actually planning on giving him the money back.
Yeah, she is.
So at this point, then he like says, "Oh, I've been kidnapped by the bad person. You've got to come." And she comes, presumably even knowing it's a trap. And he's like, "It's me. I'm fine." But he's like, "Actually, I've ordered my slave to kill herself, and she'll kill herself."
No, specifically not. He said he ordered her to sit in a cold bath and not get out because he can't order her to kill herself, but he can order her to just sit in that bath until she dies.
That seems like it's the same thing. I feel like I don't understand how this is violating. This seems like it's violating the rules.
This does, but apparently it's not, according to plot.
I mean, maybe it would have just gone as far as up until torture. But
yeah. Anyway, she thinks he's gonna kill her.
Yeah, but isn't the way it works based on their perception in some way? And
yeah.
So then he basically ordered her to basically kill herself, and he's like, "Aha! I know that you won't." I don't want you to be my slave, but I can enslave your dog.
Yeah, and apparently if he enslaves her dog, she'll be loyal to him forever. That's his plan.
She just got this dog back, like, yesterday.
This dog came in yesterday after being gone.
He just saw her relationship with the dog. She did not mention, "Oh man, I had this dog, I really would do anything to protect it." He's like, "If I have the dog, you'll have to help me do slavery." Why?
Yeah.
Why would that happen?
Yeah.
They don't make any sense. None of this is explained even a little bit.
He basically says that he pretty much says he can't get hard without slavery anymore.
Yeah. He says basically, "I love you," the main character that's directed at her. "I really need you to help me with the slavery thing. You're the best. Let's do this. Is making me feel so good. I love feeling like this." He's basically talking like a weird guy. Luckily, we do get to just jump to the dog's perspective for a bit.
We do. Wait, do we? No, wait. Did this go immediately to the dog's perspective?
I think the dog's perspective is the start of the next episode, and this is the end of episode. It's either the end of episode 4 or the end of episode 5.
Because he has a duel where they have to like eat a fork.
Oh yes, I almost forgot about this horrible thing.
Yeah.
So yes, he enslaves the dog by forcing the dog and his slave into having an eating competition where they tried to eat a fork and knife.
Yeah.
Which is very gross.
Very gross, and the human completes it while the dog does not actually eat the thing.
The dog tries, but then the main character prevents her dog from eating a fork.
Yeah.
The dog would have done it because the dog is awesome.
Yeah, the dog is awesome.
But the importance is basically Yuga comes out of this. He's enslaved the dog. She's agreeing to work with him again to protect the dog. Then we get the dog's perspective. The dog fucking hates this SCM bullshit a lot.
The dog does. The dog is amazing.
The dog is amazing. Let us go through the chronicle of, what is his name? Zunamashu?
Zushimaru.
Zushimaru. He sees a fucking pretty poodle, and he's like, I wanna fuck that.
Yeah, this is while main character is in high school, so it's years ago.
Years ago, he sees a pretty dog lady, and he's like, I want to fuck that female dog. And so he runs away from home, chasing it, gets lost and injured, and is rescued by a kind old man.
Yes.
This kind old man is apparently working on the prototypes to invent the slavery device.
Yes. However, the slavery device, shocking reveal, was designed to train pets.
Which still seems incredibly unethical.
Yes.
Like, I'm not like a PETA guy. Like, animals aren't people, you know? I don't think that we need to, like...
It's like,
I'm not a vegetarian.
It would be so
but,
much
like,
easier to train pets when we
seems
enslave them.
incredible to me to just, literally enslave your dog.
Yeah.
Not, like, feed it or train it. Literally make it to where it physically can't disobey you. That seems pretty crazy.
Yeah.
At that point, maybe you shouldn't have a dog. I mean, like, I guess it could be used in terms of, like, tigers or, like, you know, whatever. Yeah. Kind of, like, dangerous animals or bears. Maybe combat use. But, like, it still seems like it's, like, an incredibly... I would not want to work in this lab. I would work in the lab next door where they're like, oh, how do we make more borine out of, like, iron or whatever? Like... Work in the place next door where they're like, I made a screwdriver 30% more efficient. Yeah. Work there instead of working on, I'm going to make a mind control device for fucking dogs.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? But I am apparently not in charge of handing out grants in anime land. So this guy is getting funding for this. But unfortunately... After a while, this is where the dog gets the device in his mouth. He was helping train. I assume it might come up later that he has a prototype device and not the quote unquote real device.
No, they literally say that in the episode that it's a prototype. He's wearing.
Yeah, but I wonder if that'll come up later as like his device is different in some meaningful way.
Yeah.
Because he does. They said he has a prototype device, so I wonder if there's going to be a point where like he survives some situation because it's like, oh, you thought I had an SCM? I actually have a prototype, so.
Yeah.
I don't lose or whatever. Unfortunately, what happens is scary scientist man one day, not the beloved old grandpa man who's just trying to enslave cats or whatever. He steals all the data because he thinks that the old man is stupid. Yeah. And he steals all the data, deletes it, and runs off. And all the grad students, I'm assuming those are grad students, surround the old man and they're like, yeah, that was that guy. It was the post grad. He stole it, or maybe he was like an adjunct professor. But he's very clearly like junior to the old man. The old man is like, no, not him. It was me. I fucked up.
Yeah, no. He did the most Japanese thing possible, which is taking responsibility for someone else's mistake.
This is again like this really goes to show the failure of this kind of mindset because by doing this, if the government is trying to figure out what happened, he, by not doing a proper investigation and trying to get justice, he just made their job infinitely harder.
Yeah, because like, who's distributing these devices? It's based on this guy's research, but he's not involved in it because he didn't say.
Yeah, because if he just told them, hey, it was fucking shady glasses coon, they could get to the bottom of this shit and arrest him before he unleashes slavery devices everywhere.
Yes.
That initially, reminder, these devices were going for $10.
Yeah.
$10 like a fucking slave meal device from a fast food restaurant these days.
Yeah.
It's like $8, $9. These are 2 Taco Bell $5 boxes without tax.
Yes.
You can have 2 Taco Bell, like fucking double chalupa boxes or a slave. Fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Then we have a situation where the old man retires.
The old man doesn't retire. He was fired.
He's fired because he takes responsibility. He goes off to the wilderness. Basically, he goes off to the small rural Japan.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there, and the dog's like, "Oh no, he's sad now. I will get vengeance." Because this dog kicks ass. This dog comprehends everything. The only reason that this guy was able to steal the data in the first place is he had to sedative the dog.
Yeah. Also, by the way, the dog's voice actor is amazing.
It's incredible. This dog demands vengeance. So he goes off looking for vengeance And the old man looks at him sadly as he runs away. I think I'm assuming that the dog has run away and not understanding the dog is actually embarked on a journey of fucking vengeance to get the data back and clear his name. So the guy kills himself, which the dog comes back, and that just makes him even madder.
He just gets even more mad.
Angrier.
He's going to avenge this man.
He's going to get vengeance for his fucking grandpa. Yeah. And so he comes to the city, and he's apparently been at this for months trying to find anyone with an SCM, but because he doesn't have a phone, he can't find one.
It has to have been like at least 2 years since this dog lived with main character.
It's incredible. And he's just like dead focused on like, I've got to get vengeance. He's like starving to death. And that's the situation where he runs up and he's like, oh man, this lady gave me chicken, awesome. And then he sees her getting attacked, and then he like saves her by biting the guy's nuts. Yeah. But again, he doesn't really stop her from going to the other slave thing. But he's not big on slavery.
By the way, they claim they win because the dog did the thing. They don't win. That's not a win.
The dog won.
The dog won, meaning they were involved, meaning they lost, meaning they should be slaves to that other woman now. The woman who is a man.
The woman who's a man, yes. Man,
By the way, most attractive character.
Yeah, we really need to like make sure that we're on the up and up. We need to hire a diversity.
We do.
Editor to make sure that we are not, because and I don't even mean this in like I hope to cover our ass way. I don't want to hurt anyone. Yeah. I don't want to say anything that's offensive. But I don't know how to like. He's clear. He said he was a man.
He said he was a man who dresses.
But I mean, that's he's a mouthpiece of the author, so I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, so then we get into the situation where we've almost caught up. The dog is basically like meets main character, and my favorite like full 15 seconds of this is when the dog is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Because what the fuck is she doing? When the dog knows what's the fuck like the score of like is slavery good or bad, and you don't, it's a bad time. Yes, it's a bad time. So, unfortunately, the show continues. We have like I believe one more.
Yeah, there is
episode to continue. Yeah. So Yuga goes to confront, or he gets confronted by the quote crazy person who is a woman who had a hat originally, which is neat. On a train, she injects him with something in his butt with a syringe and forces him into a gamble that we do not see at the time. Then she interrogates him for all the information he has about this man she is in love with. She also reveals she's the person who kidnapped the guy who was trying to enslave those two girls and the couple earlier in the show of the rapist and the rapee who then became the slave owner and the slave ownee in reverse. Yeah. And I believe she has. Then by enslaving him, she has access to. I think she must have enslaved the girl by other means, but now she has access to the Yuga slave as well. And so then to enslave Yuga, she wins the original bet. The bet was apparently who will see their mother the first. Yeah. And she ties him up naked and like in chains, and I assume scars his mom. He's also still living with his mom because it's Japan.
Yeah, it's Japan. He lives with his mother.
So she does all this, but apparently what happened with the big hair man, as we will call him, who is introduced earlier in the show as the boyfriend of Yuga. He is actually Yuga's business partner. Yes. He's like a friend who became his business partner. He's the guy who gave him the money that they were originally going to use to like start a business, but he got interested in slavery. Yeah. But his buddy was like, no, slavery seems pretty bad.
And he was just like, but it's more interesting than it is. And he's just like, yeah, but when you start a business, you don't become someone's slave.
It's like bad IMO to do slavery. This seems dangerous and crazy and illegal. Yeah. So he was like, no, let's not do slavery. But so that's like his interaction with Yuga. So I assume that's why he's the person who's messaging Yuga asking for his fucking money. Yeah. And he's also the person who's picking up chicks who basically...
Whose friend tries to roofie a chick, and he's just like, hey, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, his buddy tried to roofie that one chick, and he's like, don't do that. So this guy has terrible taste in friends.
Yeah.
He also... The way that he won the heart of a crazy person is he... Apparently, at some point at night, she was being attacked by hoodlums of some kind.
They were making a pass at her.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It seemed very aggressive, though. She was afraid.
Yeah, no, they were making a very there was a potential rape about to happen.
Yeah, it was not a good situation. Yeah. So he jumped on top of a building and this is her version.
Yeah.
And protected her, and then they went to a hotel.
No. They went to a bar first.
They went to a bar, got drunk, and had sex.
They had a one-night stand, and then he was just like, "Hey, I got
He apparently
drunk.
did
I
not
don't know
remember
who you
it.
are.
He got
This
so
like
wasted.
me.
He's like, I have no idea what the fuck happened.
Yeah, like I hope you can forgive me. I don't do this. Like, and then he just bailed. But she's completely in love with him now.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, good for him. You know, he's out here saving women.
Yeah,
having one-night stands. So, I mean, the problem with this guy is he continually does things that are adjacent to evil that are not bad.
Yeah.
He needs to get better friends. But so far he hasn't actually done anything bad.
He even feels bad about doing a one-night stand.
Yeah. Like he didn't actually do anything immoral.
No, like he said what the fuck.
She can remember the encounter perfectly,
yeah,
and he cannot. This is way worse for her.
This is.
And a reminder, this is her version of events, so she's probably lying.
Yeah.
But yeah, she enslaves Yuga, but that doesn't matter because quickly Yuga is freed by the main character girl who enslaves him to her, enslaving her dog, because I guess the crazy person did not know about the dog or like prioritize getting the dog. So the dog is safe.
Yes.
Yuga is now safe. Yuga has been re-enslaved by the main character now. And then they quickly enslave a random girl.
They find a random woman and enslave her.
Who is a slave of someone else. I assume they're trying to take out her master in the next episode.
Yeah.
But the main character girl has now come to, I would say, a resolution. Goal.
The main character girl has decided to become John Brown.
She's decided to become less John Brown and more like Abraham Lincoln.
I don't know. I mean, she is...
Because she is trying to reform slavery very gradually.
Okay, I mean, but okay, yeah, because her plan is to enslave everyone to end slavery.
Yeah, her plan is to enslave everyone to enslave all to end slavery.
Yes.
Which is, I would say, a bad plan.
Bad plan.
Because the problem with this is even if she gets 3 steps to the way done and there's one guy left and that guy wins, she is enslaved and so is everyone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, now she's enslaved Yuga, she's enslaved her dog, I guess.
Yep.
And she's enslaved this random hostess lady. And so she's going to embark on a quest to end slavery. Once and for all.
Yes.
And it actually did not take us as long to get through as I thought, as I was concerned about.
We've got, so what do we want to, what's our takeaway from these episodes?
Yeah, because we talked about what happened, and I would like to discuss a little bit the how.
Yeah, the how.
We compressed, I guess it's something like 60 minutes into 30 minutes.
We compressed about an hour of episodes into 30 minutes.
Yeah, which is impressive, but it was difficult because things just kind of happened.
Things, like the structure of this show, it's structured incredibly poorly.
It's like the least trustworthy person you know just trying to tell you a story where he did something bad, and it's like,
it's like, actually the dog had an SCM now.
Well, then this happened, and then, I was over there, and why were you over there? Well, I'll get to that later, but, I was over in there, and then that happened, and you know how she's a bitch, and the dog has his motivation. Feels like, it's like that. You're talking to this guy, and he's saying a whole bunch of bullshit, trying to fast talk you, and to get you to confuse you here, and you're just sitting here, and you're like, wait, that's connected to that? What's going on here? It feels like I'm interrogating this anime. It doesn't feel like I'm watching it. I feel like I just sit down every time, try to make it make sense. If I didn't have my notes to guide me, I would just legitimately come into every episode and be like, I have no idea what happened. There was slavery. I do like the dog stuff. The dog stuff is good. Every other character in the show is a little bit strange. The main character girl has a fairly normal anime protagonist approach to this. It's just the subject matter is so insane. Her anime protagonist approach of I'll win the game to end the game just makes her sound like a complete fucking lunatic in this, you know? Because you're talking about human slavery.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we've got a lot built up now. We have like three groups of people at least. We have the Shota boy, we have the main characters group that want to end slavery, and then we have this third group of this crazy person who just wants to bang this one person. And frankly, she could have resolved a lot of this by just setting up like a Tinder or like a Facebook or just like looking for dating apps. Because I mean, she's a good looking woman, so it would not have been hard for her to like actually like seduce him. I feel like because she already did basically. She just needs to do it when he's sober. And he's out here looking for chicks.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd be into her. I don't know. But I hope she finds him. I hope that those crazy kids manage to make it work. I want it to not involve slavery, though. I know it will.
It's going to involve slavery. It's an anime about slavery.
Yeah. I hope the dog gets vengeance for his master who killed himself.
Yeah, anime about slavery is that's like most anime.
The problem with this is that it's only about slavery.
Yeah, like it's not about
having a shield and slavery. It's not about being able to make guns and also having a cute bunny girl slave. It's not about
but that was not actual slavery. That was just stated slavery. Like they're just allied. In Darwin's
yeah,
day.
she still. Oh no! I was talking about a different.
Oh, you're talking about a different anime. Okay.
Yeah, I was talking about Urfida.
I haven't watched that now.
It's not that good. I mean, it's not like aggressively bad.
It's not bad anime podcast material.
Actually, it might be, but in like a fun way.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to rewatch it though. Arafuda, for what it's worth, it's basically like just the most trash isekai nonsense, like distilled into like one thing. I don't want to super get into the whole plot of the show, but basically the main character becomes he goes sicko mode and he just starts killing people in an isekai world with guns, and he's got a Hummer and he just gets like a ridiculous harem. It's the kind of show that it's that exact breakdown. If you're looking for a trash isekai show, there is some mild slavery, I would say, but
almost every isekai has slavery at this point.
Yeah, it's sort of an unavoidable fact of life. If you are engaging in slavery, stop doing it.
Don't enslave people.
Slavery's not great.
Yeah, slavery's bad.
This kind of consumes all of our fun discussion about the show.
Yeah.
So I said my piece. Do you have anything to say?
Shota Master is weird.
Shota Master is really weird. Where do you think they're going with his character? Because he needs money?
I'm going to guess that he's coming across as so awful right now because they're going to try to pivot him to being like a poor misunderstood child later.
I think he's basically
we know he did bondage with Julia because they saw pictures of Julia bondage.
Yeah, no, apparently it was sick enough that it made Yuga, who is a complete degenerate.
Yuga is completely awful.
Maniac.
Yeah.
Yuga saw the shit this 10-year-old was up to, and he was like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? He's a lunatic.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's also weird because a lot of it, I think we took that as it was like a weird bondage thing. And it seems to me more of it was like a science experiment thing. Yeah. And it kind of reframes Julia's weird fascination in a really weird light.
Yeah.
Like, because if she's in a BDSM relationship, her dom is like 10 years old.
Yeah, her dom is a 10-year-old, which... Again,
and I don't think he's fucked her because I hope to God they're not going there.
So they say, like, they can't pick emotions. So she genuinely is very attached to this kid.
I mean, he's like got a sympathetic backstory probably, and he's probably...
Well, yeah, but he just lied. He lied to Zero's face, so, like, he probably just made some shit up.
Yeah, but I think that she's also the kind of person who's willing to date Seiya, so she's pretty stupid.
Okay, that's the other thing. Seiya hasn't appeared in these episodes at all, beyond his name being mentioned.
They did mention him.
They mentioned him sending someone a text. Seiya is awful.
I'm glad we don't have to deal with him.
Yeah, I'm glad he's not around.
The show really needs to focus on the dog.
Yeah.
And also, Cho seems cool. Cho seems like he's an alright guy. Julia makes me, like, very uncomfortable because she is very into being a slave.
Julia stumbles...
Which, like, I'm not here to kink
Julia
shame
goes
in real life,
from, like, bad relationship to bad relationship.
Yeah, no, the only thing that, like, listen, man, if you want to get into BDSM relationships, do it without magical devices that can ruin your brain. That's just not safe, sane, and it's not really consensual.
Remember, you need to have safe words.
You need to be able to pull consent at any time.
Also, aftercare is really important.
Should be in at least fucking high school.
Yeah.
Okay, let me be clear. Your dom should be at least 18 years old. All right, you shouldn't be dominated by a 12-year-old.
You should not.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
We're gonna upload this to the internet.
We are.
We're fucking brave.
Yeah.
I'm braver than all the. We're braver.
We're braver than most of you.
Braver than everybody.
Yeah.
Luckily, I don't think there's anything much to talk about. So remember to send any complaints, any sort of hot tips to badaanimepodcast@gmail.com.
We do have a Twitter. We have a Twitter.
We have a Twitter.
Yep. It's Bad Anime Podcast.
That's nice.
Yeah.
We managed to keep this one mostly on topic, which is incredible for us because we almost never do that.
Yeah, we never do. But I think this show defies reason too much for us.
It's sort of difficult to, like, go on a spiel about, like, premium Wendy's.
Yeah. By the way, one thing I've noticed is I'm looking at the Japanese titles of these episodes, and all of them end in ku. That's like a thing.
Does that mean anything?
Well, no, I'm just noticing that it's Dorei-ku. Then your episodes that we've gone through so far are Sentaku, Sokubaku, Higyaku, Keikaku, Konwaku, and Jikaku.
Yeah, what does ku mean?
No, it's just one of the ending characters that you can use in a word. It doesn't mean
anything.
It's just making a bunch of phonetic, like... No, they're using different versions of ku each time. They're using different kanji each time. It's just they're all ones that end in ku for some alliteration reason.
And they're like rhyming?
Yeah, they like rhyming.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Huh. So again, we're gonna probably watch. We're definitely gonna watch episodes 7 through 9.
Yeah.
Of Dorei-ku.
We might do it
animation.
Literally tomorrow, as of recording this.
You will hear it a week later, regardless of whenever we record this. We have so many of these saved up.
We do.
We couldn't like not speak to each other in a month, and you would still hear it.
Yeah, you would still hear us every week
for a while. So yeah, I don't think we have anything else to talk about. So
yeah,
have a good week. Remember to fight anime slavery in every step, in every bit of your community.
You need to defeat the shield hero. He's the villain now.
Don't shield villain IMO.
Shield villain, the shield villain anime. Because there's now another anime about a girl with a shield.
Yeah, isn't that one not slavery though?
Does that one have slavery? I don't know. I didn't watch that one.
I think it's a VR MMO, and those ones tend not to.
Okay.
This is where we get the fucking comeback on, like, VR MMO isekais. Is, like, if we continue this long enough, we will become, like, SAO stands.
Yeah.
Because we'll be like...